Personal finance, managing finances, and everything that really comes from this topic, it's something that everyone's gonna have to deal with at some point or another in their lives. Whether you like it or not, money makes the world go round. If you want to put gas in your car, buy food from the grocery store, or even spend money on playing golf, it's all going to cost money. But what I think is actually really interesting about this, even though personal finance is something that you're going to have to learn, it's something you're going to have to deal with at one point or another in your life, society really does not want you to learn anything about it. Parents, friends, the majority of people, they just treat money as a taboo topic and they really don't want to talk about money, which honestly really hurts a lot of people in the long run. They don't want to learn about how to turn their money into more money. They don't want to learn about financial mistakes that they could be making or how they could be making more money. In this video, I'm going to talk about the most important personal finance lesson that I believe is out there. And I really sat down, I really thought about this, and I really was going to make a list of personal finance lessons that you should take into consideration and that you can really learn a lot from. But then I thought, what value can I bring to someone? If I had to pick one lesson above all, one like life lesson, one personal finance lesson, what can that lesson be to provide as much value to anyone watching this video as possible? And to be honest, as I just kind of revealed, this is going to be more of a life lesson or a life hack as well. And you can honestly apply this lesson, as simple as it is, to many, many, many more aspects of your life than just personal finance. So as always, if you guys get some value out of this, make sure to smash the thumbs up, make sure to subscribe down below and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. Anyway, enough of that intro. The most important thing that I think you can do for your finances, the most beneficial thing that I think you can really do that's going to help your finances over the long run, this lesson is develop the ability to learn. Now, this might seem super simple and you might be asking, I don't understand, what do you mean develop the ability to learn? We've all been learning so many different things throughout the course of our lives. Most of us have graduated from high school, some of us have graduated from college, and some may even have gone on to grad school. But did we really learn anything throughout all those years? I look back to when I was in high school and I feel like I didn't learn anything for the sake of learning to actually learn something. I think I learned things for the test, I learned things for the essay, I learned things for that hour, 30 minutes, whatever the period was, however long the class was. I learned it for as long as I needed to know it. And then as soon as that class ended, I walked out that door. Once that I handed that in that exam, I just never even thought about it again. And I can tell you there's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of things I've learned in school for a test, an exam, whatever the case may be. And as soon as I've walked out of that classroom, I have never even thought about it again. And the reason I bring this up is because with personal finances, I could flaw the education system for not implementing some sort of financial courses into their curriculum, which I do think is a big issue, by the way. Don't even get me started with that. But I was talking to a friend about a month or so ago. We were playing golf and we were talking about how his finances aren't really taught in school. And he's a teacher, so he said to me that he's like, well, actually, they're getting better at it. At his school, they're implementing some finance courses into their curriculum. They're teaching kids some basics about financial literacy. And then a little time went by and I thought about it and I said, I don't know if it really mattered if personal finance courses were implemented in schools because I don't know how many kids will listen. And he ultimately agreed with me. He didn't know how many people would be willing to learn, willing to take in that knowledge and soak it up and apply it to the rest of their lives. And that really got me thinking. I've had friends who have taken personal finance courses in high school. I've had some that have taken courses in college. And it really got me thinking, some of these friends that have taken these personal finance courses, they can't tell me what a Roth IRA is and the benefits that come with that. They can't tell me what a 401k is. They can't tell me what an employer match is. And there's nothing wrong with that if you don't know what those things are. But the scary thing is applying to the people that have taken these personal finance courses is they've gone through those classes. They've put the time and the effort to get through those classes, but they're not putting the time and the effort to change their financial situations and apply what they learned in those classes to their real lives. Look at it this way. Someone could be dying of thirst. Maybe they haven't had a sip of water in 3 days. So you give them a bottle of water and you ultimately decide not to drink it. Is the fact that they're dying of thirst just going to magically disappear? No, it's not. But if that person opens up the bottle of water and drinks it, is that going to quench their thirst? It will. But the main point I'm trying to make here with that analogy is I know a lot of people have been dealt different hands. I know a lot of people might have different financial situations and they might have good reasons for being in those financial situations. But I think a lot of people could change the course of their financial futures and the course of their financial lives if they just open themselves up to educating themselves on personal finance. I think some people look at me and I think people, I don't know if they just think this or what the case may be, but they think I was just born with financial literacy. I was born with this ability to run numbers. I was born with this financial mindset. mindset. And that obviously was not the case. My financial literacy, my financial background has come from years and years and years of researching, reading books, and just educating myself on personal finance. Stop saying things like, I don't know how to do that, I can't do that. That is not for me. This mindset, this scarcity mindset that you're having right here is really probably limiting you in a lot of areas of your life, not just personal finance. I feel like the later millennial generation, as well as the Gen Z generation, they really take for granted the amount of knowledge and information that we can literally find at our fingertips. If you go back 30 years ago, it really was not this easy to get this information. It really was not. If you wanted to learn something new or learn a new skill, it wasn't as easy as just doing a couple of Google searches or watching a few YouTube videos. It required a lot of work. And in today's age, we have this thing that I love that I just mentioned, and it's called Google. Google was founded in 1998, and I can assure you Google was not what it is today back then. The answer to almost any question you have, any question at all, can literally be found by Googling. If you want to learn how to invest, you can Google how to start investing. If you want to learn about the stock market, you can Google stock market lessons. If you want to learn how to play golf, maybe close the laptop. But the point I'm really trying to make here is that if you really want to change your financial future and you really want to become financially literate, it's really going to be hard to do that if you can't open up your mind and if you don't have that ability to learn. And although I'm not giving any financial advice and I'm no sort of financial advisor at all, I decided to end this video where, let's say, a situation where my brain was completely wiped and I had to rebuild my financial mindset, I had to rebuild my financial literacy. I decided to put together a couple of simple steps about how I would go about that initially. First, I would get into the right mindset. Something like this where you're really deep diving into topics, it might be very easy to procrastinate. So what I would do if I really wanted to build this financial literacy and I really wanted to rebuild this financial mindset, I would make it a priority to educate myself on personal finance, and I would set very hard deadlines for myself. More specifically, set tangible goals. This could be, I want to research personal finance an hour a day, or maybe I just want to research personal finance 3 hours a week. And you have to hold yourself accountable for those goals. But at the end of the day, it's going to be however much you can dedicate to it at the end of the day. Just make sure it's realistic. Don't make a goal that you want to explore personal finance for 20 hours a day, especially if you have a full-time job, which obviously that math probably does not work out. But it can ultimately be as little or as much as you want moving forward. Just set a goal for yourself. I'd probably recommend increasing it over time from where you initially start. So say if you first start and you might want to do 30 minutes, then once you get used to that, maybe try to do an hour a day. Obviously, this can only go up for so long, but I would try to increase it little by little if you have more time, if more of your time opens up as time goes on. Next, I would lay the foundation. This is personally where I would start researching and apply that 30-minute block, hour block, 2-hour block, whatever the case may be, a day or a week, and really start to lay that foundation by spending that time researching. I'd start off by reading books such as The Little Book of Common Sense Investing, I Will Teach You to Be Rich, and 7 Steps to Financial Freedom. I think personally these books are very organized. I think they're really going to put the whole psychology of investing and personal finance into perspective. I don't know if you'd get that with Google searches. It might be a lot to handle for someone that's newer. You definitely can, don't get me wrong, but I think starting off by reading these books is really going to lay a very strong and good foundation moving forward for your personal finance journey. And then as I would read these books, I'd write down questions I have, such as what is an index fund, how to buy a stock, how to invest in the stock market, best type of investments, anything at all. And I think by reading this book, you're really going to understand how interesting and complex personal finance can really be, or at least I did, and that's why I continue to read personal finance books to this day. Lastly, once you've done these first 2 steps, you've really set goals for yourself, you really laid a foundation, and you really think you have a decent understanding of personal finance, I would say try to have a conversation with someone about personal finance. It can be your friends, it can be your family, it can be your significant other, anyone you feel comfortable talking to about it. And if you don't feel comfortable with opening up about how much money you have, what's in your bank account yet, that's completely fine. You can still ask your friends, family, significant other about what type of investments they like, what they do with their investments, those type of questions. And I think this is really important because really it's going to show you the other side of the coin. Say you're very into the stock market, maybe if you talk to someone who's very into real estate, it can really put into perspective how important, how awesome real estate investing is, and really you might just find another great opportunity. Because the important thing to remember here is sometimes it's not what you know that hurts you, it's what you don't know. And sometimes there could be a great opportunity staring you right in the face, but you don't have the background knowledge to back it up and to take advantage of that opportunity. So these conversations, I think, can definitely help in an awesome and a huge way. And if you do educate yourself on personal finance and you do take these steps and you decide you really want to get started investing, then it's honestly going to be up to you how far you take it. Maybe you just want to set set it and forget it, invest passively and put your money in an index fund. Maybe you want to pick an individual stock portfolio. Maybe you want to go out and buy real estate properties. It's all going to be up to you what path you take. But I think at the end of the day, everyone can see great benefits from learning and educating themselves about different retirement accounts, personal finance in general, and just investing. And if you're someone out there that doesn't have the money to invest right now, and you really don't have the money to invest, and you're really kind of like strapped down with your finances, I personally would recommend, and this is up to you obviously, but I think it'd be a great idea to start educating yourself on this stuff now. And the reason I think this, because you're going to have to put in the time to educate yourself anyway. It's not like you're just going to want to start throwing money in if you have it immediately, if you don't really know what you're doing. So if you spend time educating yourself right now, what that's going to do, it's really going to put down the building blocks. It's really going to lay that foundation. So once you have some money freed up, you can immediately start investing because you already have that knowledge in the back of your mind, and you already have what you need built, and you have your strategy set in stone to start investing immediately. But remember, in my opinion, to summarize this video in one sentence, whatever your dreams are, whether you want to become financially free, travel the world, or just find a great job and have a really nice paying job, you can get all of these things and you can get anything as long as you have the ability to learn. In saying that, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys got some value out of it. If you did, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this video. If you want to continue seeing videos like this, these videos really take me a long time to make. That's why I'm taking about a full week in between them, because shooting all the B-roll, it just takes so much time. So let me know if you enjoyed these down in the comments and you appreciate this effort. If so, I'll keep putting in effort like this. If not, I might go back to the old style of videos. But thanks again for watching, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.